Hey everybody, it's Suhel with Sun City Running. We're here back with another weekly episode, giving you guys updates from this past week of running. And we saw a lot of teams sit some athletes, so it was a little bit of a down week. But that doesn't mean that we didn't see some great things this past weekend. We saw a lot of teams show some developments throughout their uh, lower ranks of their teams. We saw teams showing incredible consistency and strength, and we also got to see some depth in some of these team rosters. Um, and we'll kind of jump right into it. Some of the notable things that we saw. I was personally at the Socorro Invitational out there in the golf course. And one of the big key points that I saw was the Mountwood boys. They mounted a second place finish led by Julian Franco, posting a third place finish with a time of 16:55. And their entire team ran well. They had their 1 through 5 separated by 148-second split. Um, and they showed that they can contend with some of these top boys teams here in El Paso. And their team effort really helped them rout off a really game El Paso high school team. And moving forward again, we'll kind of jump around a little bit. On the girls' side, we saw the Pebble Hill girls really show an impressive performance with some of their top girls sitting out. We had a second place finish by their team, and they were led by Megan Mukibi, finished at 22:10, and they also sported a 142-second 1-5 split. And what I thought was more noticeable from this girls team was they showed some real strength that we hadn't seen in the past year. And I got to talk to the coach a little bit, and he said that things are just starting to click well for this girls team. They are showing a lot more consistency, not that they weren't before, but he says that those little fine details that they have needed to iron out as a girls team has really come out in full stride this season, and we're starting to see that now as we're starting to get deeper into our season. And overall, for our Socorro Invitational, we got to be real thrilled. At least they got to be real thrilled. The boys and girls varsity teams for Socorro came out and blasted a first place finish for both teams. And on the guys' side, we had our varsity boys led by junior George Mendez, who posted a fifth place finish overall with a 17:18. I've been able to talk to his coaches, and they've said that his dedication this year has been bar none, the best that he's had so far. And being only that he's a junior, that's got to be something that excites the high school Socorro, knowing that this young man can lead this team so well, and he's only getting started. Some other great performances that we saw out of the boys varsity team was obviously, aside from the great teamwork overall, but was between that sophomores Uziel Holguin and Jose Chavez, who had a 10-second time difference between one another. And this shows that this team is ready to start adapting that pack style running. And everything kind of came together pretty well with them as they posted a 133 1-5 split. I got to talk to them, a little bit after the race, so be sure to check out their interview. That's going to be linked in the description below. And on the girls' side, it was also very impressive. Like I was saying earlier, they got to hold off a very well-ran race by the Pebble Hills girls varsity team, and Socorro was led by their own Addie Carbon, who finished fifth with a time of 21:30 in her only second race of the season, or second or third race of the season, missing one. So their team is also what seems to be coming together and showing that they can be one of the top teams in El Paso for 6A. They actually moved up in the rankings. Now they're ranked fifth, and that makes things very interesting between the 3, 4, 5 spot, seeing who's going to really compete to make that last slot there at regionals. As we know, Eastwood and Franklin are definitively holding on to those first 2 spots. So it's certainly making things real interesting. And again, on the girls' side, we had a great 3-4 punch with senior Valentina Tariba and Anissa Chavira, who had a 12-second split between the two. So we're really seeing them iron out these little details that you would hope to see get ironed out early on in the season, and that really preps us up for, great performances as we get into, deep into the season and closer to district. And some other notable team performances was out at the Mountain View Invitational. Varsity boys, on the varsity boys side, we had Bel Air High School coming out first. And then kind of sneaking in there was Lydia Patterson, who also had a second place performance right behind Bel Air. Some really good teams out there at that meet, getting some good performances off. And then another, notable performance was the only ranked girls team, Hanks girls varsity. And no surprise there, they've been running well all season long. So it'll be something to kind of keep looking forward to on that regard, seeing where they can end up, come season end for 5A. And some individual notable performances out of El Paso. Senior Mia Hairston from Malwood took first at the Socorro High School Invitational. She had an incredible 2024 track season, becoming one of the premier 800-meter runners in El Paso. And she led her team to an incredible performance overall. Another notable performance was junior Carly Day from America's High School, who finished third with a time of 21:04. And America seems to be, coming together pretty well as well. And I got to talk to their coach out there on the course. And again, he also talked about how his team is just kind of really starting to move in the right direction together. And we're starting to see that with some of their performances getting very close together. And on the boys' side, for individuals, again, we saw El Paso High School Andrew Truax continuing to shine in El Paso with a first place finish at the Socorro Invitational. And he finished with a time of 16:43. And this young man really is developing into what I feel like can be one of the more premier runners out of El Paso. And another last notable finish from the individuals on the boys' side is Luis Pereira from Austin High School, who finished second with a time of 16:53. So, this weekend was a great way for us to see some of the kids that we're not used to seeing really step up and show that they can be some of the top athletes here in El Paso as well. Some of the things that I hope that we can kind of see that we shift away from in El Paso is having these small time meets. I would have really preferred to have seen all these teams compete, out there at the Socorro Invitational. It was a great course. It wasn't a fast course. A lot of soft grass, which doesn't really allow for some faster times. But I thought it was a great course, and I would have loved to have just seen one meet this weekend to where we can see all these athletes get together to really compete and challenge each other, and continue to push some of the competition that we've seen early on this season. So stay tuned. Again, if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, or maybe some athletes that you would like me to cover in future episodes, go ahead and leave a comment below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you guys out next week. So best of luck this weekend, guys.